Hello, my name is Lori Burke. I'm the Executive Director for Mothers Against Drunk Driving here in beautiful Southwest Florida. I've been working remotely, as many of you have, and we really miss the members of our community that we interact with on a regular basis. And those folks that help us or have been impacted by drunk driving, by drugged driving, and certainly help us to support our mission to help victims and prevent underage drinking. Today we have someone who has become an invaluable person in our community. Not only has he been impacted, but now he has turned that pain into purpose, and he helps us tremendously and volunteers with us on a monthly basis. Hi, Kyle.
Hello, Lori. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, it's really great to see you. I miss not seeing you every month, but hopefully soon we'll be able to start back up again and things will be open. So I want to start off by asking how you're doing. How are you protecting yourself during this global pandemic?
Just remember, each day we're alive, and another day we're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm alive, therefore I'm blessed, because each day is a gift. Foremost, I'm blessed now to be a husband, my life partner, who helped me, her fiance at the time, pushed me to get back to this point.
Mm-hmm.
She pushed me. Literally, Lori, she pushed me. I'm a very big guy to push around in a wheelchair for 4 months. But I'm up now, and I'm blessed to be a walking miracle. There's close to 3 dozen or so miracles to be where I'm at here today. Medical science gave me greater than 90% chance that I'd die and wouldn't survive past 72 hours in my coma with all of my injuries. Type of TBI, fatal ICP, swelling to the brain, nerve damage to the brain stem. Gave me a less than 10% chance of just living in my coma past those first 3 days. Odds of me waking up were somewhere around 0. Never to wake up, sit up, stand up, walk, talk, be able to be independent, let alone work again. Certainly not be able to return to law enforcement.
Yeah.
But in less than 2 years, even, which is scary to say, I've overcome all of that, and it's nothing truly short of miraculous.
Yeah. So you alluded a little bit to some of your injuries, but tell us, a little bit about what happened, and then how you transitioned and interact with us, because I think that that's really important.
I would just moved in with my fiance at the time, now my wife, to our first home.
Because there's Kyle's Lauren and MADD Lauren. That's how we came.
Yes, that is correct. There's MADD Lauren, and she's in my phone as MADD Lauren, and I call my Lauren, but yeah, and just Lauren. And I just gotten engaged. We just closed on our house, and I was taking a U-Haul that we'd used to move in together back to the return center. And I'm so thankful every day that my Lauren wasn't in that seat next to me like she had been and almost was for that trip back. She's like, come on, we can Uber back to the house. I'm like, no, we're homeowners now. We got to save some money. And so we were stuck in the dirt and drove on our own car. And on that return trip back, I was driving on 846 West and Mockley Road, and an impaired driver lost control. He's going about between 70 miles an hour or so or 60 or 70 miles an hour in a 45 on wet roads, and lost control, crossed over the median that ramped him into the air, and he went in the air, he inverted and crashed down on top of me in about a strike speed of about 92 miles an hour, and all 6,000 pounds of his vehicle crashed right on top of my head right there. In about 18 1,000th of a second. This is the speed of about 1/200th of a second, but about 300 times faster than that.
So it was hard to even react because it happened so fast.
They investigators found I had no time to even process anything to where I could not even decelerate, take my foot off the gas, brake, or steer the steering wheel at all.
Oh gosh. What was the result of that crash? What do you mind talking a little bit about your injuries? Anything that I ask that, just say, no, I'd rather not.
No, that's fine. No, everybody else saw everything in the hospital anyways. So nothing's really that private, but he was later found to, before y'all even knew he was impaired, we kind of thought so, but alcohol is a .08 limit BAL to drive safely, and he was about the equivalent of 0.197 of cocaine impairment in his system. He is a convicted felon many times, been in prison many times, which is, people can, learn from there and correct their old ways, but he was still high as a kite, and unfortunately he didn't make it, and I did.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that, I know it's hard to say, I'm thankful this happened to me, because I've been strong enough to recover from this, to bounce back, when a lot of other people I don't think would have been able to be as resilient and successful as I've been in it.
Well, that's always been something.
Make something terrible into something great, and it's not about the tragedies it's about the miracles. Right,
and that's something that I have been just in awe of, and it's so inspirational to me that you do look at the positive side, and what you can do with the situation that you've been given. And so tell us how you volunteer with us. I mean, you volunteer with us in a number of ways, but on a monthly basis with the Victim Impact Panel.
Well, I honestly don't recall exactly how or who connected with who.
Right, so I'll tell you this. I know. So so the Southwest Florida tends to be a smaller community, and there's always that 6 degrees of separation where someone knows someone. And one of your colleagues called and said, told me, he said, you need to get to the hospital right away. One of my colleagues has had a terrible crash. And normally we do not go to hospitals unless we're asked to. So we went and we brought it because we knew the way law enforcement works. There would be team members, your colleagues there 24 hours a day, 24/7. And so we wanted to make sure that they were fed and that they had, so we bought a big box of snacks, and I can see the little bear behind you, and I know that you're a big, I know that you are a grown man, but we decided we're going to bring a bear just so that, whoever needed it could potentially find comfort. And that's sort of how we got connected. And then,
he's right over there.
Yeah, I can see him. And we sort of stay, we just, and so I think from that, we were able to stay connected, through that connection that we both had with the other officer.
My family, after lights came back on and every part of my brain came back home, they shared how MADD Southwest Florida brought the provisions to the ICU when I was there in a coma, because my fiance Lauren, my mother, they didn't want to leave for even a second to go to the cafe in the hospital and risk missing something from the doctors, because it was on pins and needles is an understatement. Every moment, every breath was just, every time the door opened, is that them for us giving us the bad news or whatever. And it was a long time before anyone knew of the driver's impairment of the guy who struck me. When I finally made it back home to Southwest Florida after my 4 months hospital stay, out of state, I stepped on board the MADD team as a DUI impact panel speaker. Later finding out his impairment equivalent of 0.197 of cocaine, a cocaine-fueled rocket that tried to kill me. What I've been fighting against every day of my now almost 9-year career. Impaired operation is what almost killed me. And I've been pretty much a part of everything I can be with MADD. Whenever I get a call from your team, last minute even, from speaking to school groups, fundraisers, community organizations, the annual Walk Like MADD advisory board, anything I can do to help and my involvement, it's important to me. It's unfortunate that my current law enforcement schedule, even in our current times, precludes me from being more involved than I am. But our current societal practice has kind of put a halt on most of our efforts.
Sure.
And beyond understanding and accommodating with that in my schedule. And I'm very, very glad and proud to be a part of this team.
Well, and we are equally very grateful and proud to have you as part of our team, for sure. I know that, just for the folks that are watching this, we have a series of questions that we ask, but I did want to go off script for a moment and ask you, can you let the people that are watching just know a little bit about what kind of comments come from the attendees who are DUI offenders after you speak? What are some of the comments? Because I think they're just amazing. Because we do have them fill out a survey, and there's a free area where they can just put in any type of comments.
They're amazing every way. They're amazingly bad, and shit happens, people die. And they're amazingly good and motivating. And just, if I can prevent one person, I tell you all the time, and the other speakers, we're not going to save everybody. We're not going to, in law enforcement, I tell my trainees that we're not going to save everybody. I pull up to an accident scene, I got to make a choice on who I give CPR to. We can't save everybody. And just like when I'm speaking to the offenders, we can't make an impact on everybody. We can't teach them, train them. We can't instill it in them. They'll go out the door and it goes out their ears. But if we can save one person from committing another impaired driving offense, save one person from turning that key, save one person from getting behind that wheel, that's another life we save. There's a direct correlation between the impairment arrests and the impairment deaths going down. A direct relationship to that.
Completely. I remember the gentleman that while we were facilitating the victim impact panel, looked maybe a little bit bored.
The one guy that approached you? That guy that I...
No, the one that approached you and gave you something of his that was really special, the necklace. And that just touched.
He had a cross necklace. He took off his own neck. He was in tears, and he heard my story, and I think I was when I was going last, and he took it off his own necklace and put it around my neck. I mean, it was a very, that's just another example of the impact, the difference. I saw the goosebumps of other people and the tears in their eyes, the mothers thinking I'm a son.
Right.
I could be their son, or their spouse that thinks I could be their spouse, or their child thinking to be their parent. That relationship, that connection, and relating to it could be one of their family members. That empathy is huge, I think, in connecting the lasting impact, the lasting benefit of it speaking. People that check the papers and this is their 6th offense and their life, I don't have a lot of faith that they're gonna not have a 7th. But the people that have this their first offense, I see their goosebumps. I hear the shaking in their voice and the tears in their eyes, and I think we make a huge difference.
Oh, thank you. And I thank you every month for sharing that story, because I know that it can't be easy every month to get up there and be so vulnerable in front of people and remember such a traumatic time in your life, in both you and Lauren's life. So I want to ask you, do you have any advice or words of inspiration for people that have been impacted by drunk or drug driving?
Thank you for asking. This is a little bit take on my usual messaging from our impact panels, but motivational speaking is now part of what I do, and it's what I live, part of what I live for. So get ready and hold on. Never quit. Never give up. My words to those impacted by this are the same as those that I share with survivors of anything they've sustained injuries from. Not just to compare, or excuse me, not just impaired driving, not just TBI, but anyone. And it is, try not to compare your pre-injury or pre-incident self to yourself today. You're alive right now, period. No comparisons, no contrasts. Instead, set realistic but attainable goals for everyday life. Ones that do challenge you, but are also realistic hurdles. And measure how you can meet those goals here today. How you do it now. How you get it done today, period. And take each step, everything, one step at a time. One day at a time. Each step forward is another step up. Each day you're alive is another day you're alive. Be very cautious to venture down the dangerous, slippery slope of asking questions that start with why. Why did this happen? Why me? Why did I survive? Why did I get the miracle? Those answers are not for us to understand right now. You can hear and see my reaction. Even I've struggled with some of those. Instead, ask questions that start with how. Like, how will this happen? By making constant choices to never quit. How will I do it? Faith. Faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in the power of choice. The greatest gift in life we have is the gift of our free will, to choose, to make choices. Make the constant choice to never give up. The list of injuries I had was monumental. When they asked where I lived, I told them Naples, and they brought me a brochure for inflatable wheels for my wheelchair to use on the beach. I politely declined that, saying I can't do beach patrol from a wheelchair. And they looked at me speechless, like I was delusional. Like I was in denial that no one had broken the news to me yet that he can't do it. Someone with his medical deficits can't do it. One Monday morning, I started my therapy regimen, and the therapist asked me, as they always do, what did you do over the weekend? I casually mentioned I climbed a mountain. And they replied, "That's very good, Kyle. We're all climbing mountains every day." And as I walked slowly on the treadmill there in the training room, I kindly clarified that I climbed 1.5 miles up Kennesaw Mountain outside Atlanta this past weekend. It took many hours, but it wasn't impossible. I actually had to show them the picture on my phone with a date and timestamp and location tag, and they were in disbelief.
Right.
Because to them, I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. My physical training and therapy ended shortly thereafter because I did it. Almost everyone out there does almost enough. Almost enough to make it. Everyone almost does it. Almost whatever it takes. Almost gets through it. We've all almost gotten there. Almost. In everything we do. We try to do. Almost has seemed to become part of what's satisfactory in society. Winners choose to do it. To reach up above, to reach down inside, to never quit, to make choices, to make it happen, to get it done. I made a choice back then, not to identify with handicapped or disabled, when it was perfectly acceptable and understandable for me to be content with those titles, those limits, to be used to life in a wheelchair, to be medically retired from uniform, and just be thankful that I was alive. Don't mistake me, I'm beyond thankful for all of this, for any of this. I am with every part of me. But I'm here as a voice for those who can't be, who aren't here anymore, to tell people. I did what it took to get back up, to get out of the box that impaired driving and the destructive crash it caused put me in, to get back to this life I'd begun to make for myself and my wife. I made a conscious choice not to accept the labels and limitations that go with them. And I tell people, just like at the impact panels, other people can do the same. Whether it's offender, probation, victim, or survivor. What you identify with. Are you a victim? Are you a victor? Are you a warrior? Are you a warrior? Are you surviving? Are you thriving? Choose to never lose faith. Faith in God, faith in yourself, but also never lose faith in the goodness of people. It's very easy to get jaded after impaired driving can impact you. Never lose faith in the goodness and beauty of this life. Grow through what you go through. Get outside. Nature nurtures. I'm living proof. But don't almost anything. You've always wanted to learn how to play a new instrument? Do it. You've always wanted to learn about the birds you hear and see? Do it. You've always wanted to go back to school to finish that degree? Do it. You want to pursue that dream career? Do it. The difference between people winning and losing, winners do whatever it takes to get it done. Nothing is almost. I could say, I almost died. But I didn't. I almost didn't make it back. I almost didn't drive or work again. But I trained and I prayed. Took a very long time, was very hard battle and fight. But I never quit. I did it. You have just one life and you're alive right now. There's no second chance. There's so much in this life to be thankful for. So much underestimated before it's almost taken away. Life's too precious to almost do anything. I tell everybody, even the impact panels, we do the thumbs up. So I have to look at the thumb on the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
And your eyes only look at the right side of your screen. There you go. And that action of switching what you're looking at, we call smooth pursuit or simple saccadic movement with the eyes. Because drugs, alcohol, brain damage affect the eyes the same way. That action of switching what you're looking at with both eyes working together took 14 parts of the human brain to accomplish. 7 for each optical nerve of each eye. It takes just one part of the brain to make a choice, to make a decision through the same signals. It takes 14 parts of the brain to look around that we do every moment and every day. And just one part to actually make a choice when we try to make a decision. We have underestimated unharnessed power. We actually try through active choice. We choose to make a decision. We're unstoppable. That's the power of choice. Grow through what you go through. Do it. Get it done. One step, one fight, one day, one victory at a time. Never quit.
Thank you, Kyle. Those are really powerful words of inspiration and motivation. And even during this time of social distancing and everybody's lives have been turned upside down. I mean, I'm obviously not in the office. I'm in my home. Very, very powerful. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I wish both you and Lauren well, and please stay safe and be well.
Thank you very much, Lauren. I appreciate it. You do the same.
Thank you.